What reason do you have to leave your world? Like, why do you think you were brought here?
What reason would I have to stay? I was running for my life every day. There was nothing good there. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can definitely see the doors helping me escape because they knew that I didn't belong there, I guess. I don't know. I've been thinking about the old world a lot. I guess
What about it?
just in general, I hadn't really thought about it much before you got here, and then you're here and I'm wondering about your world and you're asking questions and I can't get it off my mind.
Are you curious about my world?
A little. In that sort of exploration sense of wanting to know new things, hear about new places. It's the same sort of curious that you get when you see a biome in the distance and you want to go explore it.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, my world was beautiful in its own way.
That's
Especially
nice.
the castle.
What's a
The
castle?
castle was amazing. It's, how could I describe it? You know your watchtower?
Yeah.
Think of like that, but instead of one tower, there's multiple. It's
Okay.
surrounded by walls,
Okay.
and there's heaps of rooms. And there's a throne room, there's banquet halls. Sometimes, depending on like the castle, it could have a banquet hall that is a throne room, you know? Or the throne room gets turned into a
Okay.
banquet hall.
I definitely know what that word is, yes.
Banquet hall is like a big room that a lot of people can eat in.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for defining the word. I hope you don't
You would
mind
have
me.
loved it. You would have loved it. Holy
I'll
crap.
take your word for it.
I think you would have liked my world. My world was might not have been peaceful all the time, but I mean it was home, you know?
Yeah.
It was yeah. It sounds a lot better than your world.
What does home mean to you?
Home means a place where I can settle, feel comfortable, be myself, take off my mask. You've never seen me without my mask?
No, I haven't.
I don't really feel home unless I feel like I can take my mask off.
Okay.
It's somewhere where you can let all the walls down.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
I've heard the word but never associated a meaning. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what home is.
The place you lived in before in the old world, what did it feel like?
By the place I lived in, what do you mean?
Like where you slept, or were you always on the move?
Did I ever sleep? No.
Oh, well, that's just sad.
No, sleeping is bad. Sleeping is bad. Especially if you're not somewhere safe. And especially if there are people around, sleeping is bad. It's not safe. You don't sleep there. You don't.
That just makes me sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is pretty sad. You don't sleep. There was no home. There was no place I stayed. I was always on the move, always on the run. Just trying to get by day by day. There were times where the Nether was safer than the overworld.
Did Sunny and Worm help you feel a little bit safer?
A little bit, yeah. Definitely a little bit.
Do they make you feel like you can settle down somewhere? Did they help you feel that to an extent, at least?
They made me feel like I didn't always have to run. That there were people I could trust to, not try and kill me on sight. That was nice.
That's home, Shae. That can be home.
Yeah.
Home doesn't have to be a building,
It doesn't?
you know? No.
Mm.
Sorry, I forget that, I forget that it's different. Like, you don't know the things that I know, I guess. I don't mean that as a bad thing, I just mean like, I
It's
keep
true.
assuming that you know everything that I know, but things were different in your world, and I'm still getting used to that. Home doesn't have to be a place. It can be a person, it can be people.
I definitely feel like Worm and Sunny are probably the closest to home I've had.
Yeah, home can be people.
Okay.
My childhood home, I burnt it to the ground after my parents died. It was too hard to be there knowing what happened. And after that, I didn't tie my home to a building. my home became person, or became people. There were some really important people in my life back then. I wouldn't be who I was today if it wasn't for them. I personally think that it's easier and it's better to find home in people rather than a building.
I like that. I think I'd only ever heard it in reference to a place before, or a building or something. I like the thought of home being people. Speaking of people, I have another question that I wanted to ask a couple of people. I don't know how to say this.
Best to just say it the only way you know how and hope that the person you're asking doesn't take it to heart.
How do you know if someone's your friend? Like, what is a friend?
Oh, that depends on who you ask.
It's a subjective answer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the loose definition is just someone who you're close with, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain. When you develop a relationship with the person, it can go various directions. Like, some relationships become family, you know? When someone who isn't even blood related to you, they become so close that you treat them like they're your sibling, or, you know, you're a parental figure to them, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Friendship is like a couple levels underneath that, where your relationship with that person is strong, and you know the person and you know things about them.
Right, okay.
And you trust them.
So, this really just shows you how much experience I've had with people. So, relationships with people don't always feel the same, they're not always on the same level.
Correct, yeah. Relationships between people are two-sided, right? They're not just... It takes two people to form a connection, and I mean, just as an example, Moon might consider you a friend, but you don't necessarily consider them a friend. You know, like, just because you call someone a friend doesn't mean they call you a friend. They might call you something else. They might think more of you, they might think less of you.
Thank you. That's actually really, really helpful. To think that I've been agonizing over that all day, just debating, I don't know, debating with myself based on next to no information or knowledge or experience. And then I can just ask you and you give me an answer that makes sense.
What other questions are you holding on to?
Do you believe in destiny?
Yeah. Destiny is hard. It blinds people, some people, with the sense of duty that they're just not prepared for. But if you're asking me for my opinion of destiny, I believe in destiny. I believe that people are meant to find each other, that some events are meant to happen, some events are predetermined to happen.
If you believe in destiny, do you believe in freedom? Freedom's not quite the right word. More narrow. Freedom, but narrow.
Yeah, I believe that we all deserve to be free. That we all deserve to live the way that we choose.
Yeah, the way we choose, that's what I'm after.
I also believe that we can't just live freely without consequence either. That's why I served the king, that's why I served the people, because I believed in government. I believed that everyone needed to be watched over and controlled as much as we needed to be able to live the way we wanted to. If everyone was free, then the world would be chaos. The world would descend into anarchy.
What's a government?
It's a way of, like, ruling. So, if you think about it, right? You're the leader of the Ordente.
Yes.
We're a government, because we have an order system.
Okay.
In how we run our faction and how we run our lands. But yeah, that's a government. So the type of government that I used to live in is a monarchy. Oh, sorry.
Rude. A monarchy, okay. That's
which is a king. Like a king rules over people, and a king or queen, sorry. Yeah, we have one ruler who would rule over the people. They would make the decisions. There was another form of government called a democracy, where you'd have a singular leader, but decisions would be made by like multiple people, where the people would get a say,
Okay.
but the monarch, the king or queen, would have the say, and the people wouldn't really have a voice.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that people don't have a voice in a monarchy. Like our king, King Albus, he was a good man. He was a good king. He always listened to his advisors. He would look out for his people. Sorry, I got really sidetracked from your original question. Destiny. Destiny,
Oh my goodness, my original question was destiny.
Yeah, I do believe in destiny, but I also believe in freedom, that we do all make our own choices. It's just that
Okay.
some of our decisions, we're sort of like the world, the universe, whatever you want to call it, has its own way of pushing us towards a certain road, you know?
Yeah.
I think it was destiny that we all came here. It's just gonna take us a while to figure out why we came here. And as much as I hate to say it, I do think there's a reason why worms suffered the way they suffered. Destiny is a funny thing. You gotta be careful how much faith you put in destiny, because as I said, if you trust in destiny too much, you might suddenly think that you are worth more than you really are, or that you are stronger than you really are, and then you throw yourself into situations that you can't get yourself out of.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good answers. I love watching the sunrise over everything we've built.
As long as we're not watching the sunset over a ruin, then
True.
another day that we've done the right thing.
Very true.
Your world was mostly ruins, right? Or to me, your world either sounds like it was either in ruins or just everything was on fire, and I can't decide which.
Pretty much that, yes. Ruins as we have them here are a lot more put together than what my world was.
Well, that's a bit disturbing.
Ruins is the right word. But in ruins, yes.
What?
ReinZ with a
What
Z
happened
would
to
be
your world?
a good way to describe my world. You actually...
What happened to your world?
That's a really difficult question to answer without knowing what my world was like before whatever happened. It just was that way.
Your world seems like it was a wasteland. Moon, from what I can tell, her world was semi-civilized, but is also on the way to becoming like your world, and more closer to your world than like my world was.
Closer to my world than your world was, yes, but at the same time, no. From what I heard, Moon's world was not on its way to becoming my world. From what I heard, Moon's world was barren. It was empty, she said. If my world was empty, it would have been okay.
It just seems like my world was the only civilized world, and that's just...
Yeah, maybe it was.
sad.
I mean, Eve had other people, right? Buildings and such.
I don't really know much about Eve's world.
I only know what... I don't know, I only know what she said when she was introducing herself, which is that she'd pretty much gotten everything she wanted to get, built everything she'd wanted to build there. And that there weren't many people left, I think. But it sounded like there were people, and there was, you know, the ability to build things, which is nice. I like having the ability to build things and have them, just
stay.
Yeah, putting up walls and then having them be there the next day is a luxury that I'm still not used to.
It isn't something that everyone can enjoy, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, even in my world, there was things like that, where places where you put up a wall and it'll be gone the next.
Yeah, so in some ways your world was more like my world than Moon's world was. I don't like calling it my world. The place I came from. It's not my world. It's just the place I was
You don't
trapped.
like that place, do you?
I really don't. It taught me what I needed to know, gave me experiences, and I'm gone now. And I can start living. Because there's more to life than just surviving, right?
Life isn't worth anything if you're not trying to live it.
Yeah. So, I've done the surviving bit. I survived enough that I got here. And now I can live.
So now that you can live, what do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with your freedom?
I don't know. What do I want to do with my freedom? My only answer is is keep everyone safe, but that doesn't make sense if we're not running from anything. I want to make sure everyone survives, but that's not living, that's surviving.
But I'm not asking about them, I'm asking about you. What do you want with your freedom? Why do you want to be free?
Well, whatever I was doing in the old world wasn't working. So, I want to try something different, I guess?
What do you mean?
I don't want to run every day. When I go out and explore, I want it to be because I want to see, I want to experience. I don't want it to be because I have to or I'll die. I don't know what I want because I've only ever experienced the one thing. And I want not that. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? I know it's not a
Sort
full
of.
answer.
I don't think the freedom you want exists in the borders, Shae.
What do you
I
think
really
the freedom
don't.
I want is?
Where you get to choose your own path, where you're not limited by anyone or anything.
I mean, so far the borders haven't been holding me back from that.
But don't they? I mean, because of the borders, you're not allowed to see Sunny or Worm, your friends, without a pass. Some dumb piece of paper that says you're allowed to enter their lands.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the passes.
Like, if they're your friends, shouldn't they just let you in?
They do, most of the time.
But why do you need, what's the point of a pass if they're just gonna let you in? What is the point of a border that isn't enforced? What is the point of a border that is just hollow? These passes that hold no meaning other than the meaning that someone has given them.
Because we came from a world without...
But you can have borders without the passes.
Sure.
The borders don't have to be some threat looming in the distance of, if I don't bring a pass, suddenly they're allowed to hurt me, kill me even, because for some stupid reason death has no consequences here.
Death has consequences?
If death has no yeah, well, like, in my world, if you die, then you die. You don't come back.
That makes torture a lot more difficult. I say that not as somebody who likes torturing people. Please, I recognize that sounds really morbid. That was not a threat. That was an observation.
It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, what is the point of the passes if they're just gonna let you come and visit them anyway? Like, it's just some hollow action that says that you can't visit your friends, your family, on pain of death.
It's not as extreme as that.
It's a dumb rule.
Well,
It's
sure,
a stupid rule that you have to get this piece of paper so that you can see your friends who would let you in anyway. So if they're letting you in anyway, then why do we need the pass?
It's a semblance of order. It is a safety wall so that you can always say no. You always have the option to say no.
You can always say no.
Not everyone knows that. Not everyone finds it easy to say no. When you're saying no for yourself, then it's hard. If you're just saying, no, we don't have a pass, but maybe we can meet at mid a little later. That's easier for some people. The passes are there. The rules, the borders are there so that there is something instead of nothing, because nothing doesn't work. Yes, the passes are a little stupid, but they're better than nothing.
Shae, I hear you, but people need to be able to stand up for themselves.
Yes, they do.
People need to be able to stand up for themselves. If they can't tell someone who they think is a friend, oh, sorry, I just don't feel like meeting up right now, there's things I need to do. Oh, sorry, I'm just not feeling like having visitors right now. How are they meant to deal with other threats?
Welcome to my entire life. Welcome to everything that I worry about. Most of the time. You've asked a relevant question. You've gotten to the point. That's what it's like to live in my head. That one question over and over and over. If they can't stand up for themselves, how are they going to do anything? I don't know. I'd love an answer.
Shae, we teach them.
I'm trying.
We teach them to stand up for themselves. You can't protect everyone all the
know.
time, Shae.
I know.
Shae, I know how hard you've been fighting. I see it, Shae. I see it. See it, okay? I get it. You want to protect everyone.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just gotta let them protect themselves. We gotta teach them to protect themselves. We can't do it for them forever.
Yeah.
I know how much you want to.
I'm trying, and they're getting better, but it's a slow process.
Shae, you're never gonna find the freedom you want this way. You're never going to feel free, like you can be yourself. Like you can explore who you are as a person without Worm and Sunny.
I don't know what that would look like.
And you're not gonna have the option to do that if things stay the way they are, Shae. If things stay the way they are, you're just gonna be exactly who you are right now. You're gonna be the person that's trapped, trying to look after the children, trying to look after everyone. Don't you want to look out for yourself for once? Don't you want to figure out who you can be, what you can be?
I do. I already look out for myself. Right?
Shae, we can be so much more than this. There is more to life than this, than the borders, than the streaming passes, than pieces of paper that say that you can't visit your friends. I don't even believe in them. I don't believe in the borders. I don't think that the borders should be what they are. The borders are meant to encourage community with like-minded people. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna live with Worm or Sunny or Moon or Eve or Mary because I'm not like them, but I'm like you. This is our community.
Yeah.
The Ordente, this is our community.
Yeah.
The borders mean nothing. They're just district lines. They're just lines in the sand that tell everyone who the like-minded people are. They shouldn't mean that you can't see your friends because of some stupid past. They shouldn't dictate that every faction has their own form of deciding who goes where and what happens in the faction.
And what should they be?
They should just be there so that when we decide who we want to live with and how we want to live, we know where to go. I am someone who loves adventuring, who loves exploring the world. I love protecting people. I love taking on the mobs. So this is my place. This is my place. My place isn't in the farmer's land where people who love being around other people go. I'm not good with people. You know that. You've seen how good I am with people. The only person I'm good with is you.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't belong over there. I'm not single-minded enough to stay in the builders faction where I can focus on just one building to build. You've seen the armory and how long it took me to build the armory. The inn I only just finished now and I'm still delegating it out. I don't belong with them, but I belong here. These borders,
I
they
agree.
shouldn't exist the way they exist. They shouldn't be some threat. Because that's what they are. It's a threat. It's a threat staring us in the face. That if we don't fall in line, someone will make us. Someone's gonna make us fall in line.
Who?
Sunny, Moon, Eve.
We can do whatever
Mary.
we want within our faction. They have no jurisdiction over that.
But what if they decided that they didn't like the way we're living our life?
Why would
Shae,
they do that?
We both know that we together are powerful enough to stop one of them, maybe two of them, three of them even. But what if they banded together and said, you know what, Aldente, we don't like the way that you guys are running your faction. We don't like the way you're using your land. We will come in and take it. What if that happens? What if they just, enough is enough? We want
That-
your faction.
Seems highly unlikely.
But it could happen.
What do you think the borders should be? If at all.
Like I said, community lines, like-minded people,
Is that not what they are?
in a sense, but they're also a threat. If I'm visiting Worm and I forget a pass for whatever reason, right? They have a right to kill me. That's a threat. That streaming pass is a threat. These borders, I want there to be peace, right? I want everyone to be together. But these borders, I don't think they do that. I think that it's a bomb waiting to go off.
Maybe.
It's a block of TNT just waiting to blow up. It's waiting for its flint and steel. It's been staring me at the face this whole time. I've tried not to say anything because I know these people are your friends, Shae. But you're telling me you want to be free? If you want to be free, these borders can't stay the way they are. They can't exist the way they exist. They have to change. We have to change, Shae. We have to show the others that the borders need to change, that they can't stay the way they stay. Because otherwise, these borders aren't going to keep us together. They're going to tear us apart. One by one. It's already happening. It's already happening.
ReinZ.
What?
Long Crate? Are you sure? Can I trust you?
Yes, you can trust me, Shae. I'm not trying to tell you to just march into the Builders faction and say, Sunny, Eve, we're taking over our faction. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to build walls around our faction so that no one can enter. I'm just saying that we need to start talking about change. Talking about real change.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you, Worm and Sunny, you came to this place agreeing that you'd be friends. And these borders are here to keep you guys being friends. But be honest with me, have you seen Sunny and Worm that much?
Not recently. They've been kind of busy.
Exactly. And you know what I've seen? You know what I've seen? I've seen even Moon. They're friends. Like Moon said it herself. We've been left behind, Shae. They're
Yeah.
getting closer without us.
I've noticed.
If these borders were here, do you really think that would happen? If the streaming passes existed, do you think that would happen? Honestly.
Honestly, I feel like if the borders and stream passes didn't exist, the only thing I can picture is what my world used to be.
But it doesn't have to be like that. In my world, we didn't have stream, and we had order. We didn't have borders, but we had freedom. We had walls and we had freedom.
You had walls.
Shae, there are two ways that you can be free, right? The freedom you want, you can get. One of them's easy, and one of them's hard. And both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. Option 1, we go. We leave this place. We go into the Badlands. No more adhering to the stream passes rules. No more borders that are gonna be a ticking time bomb. Just us living life in the Badlands. We can do that. But if we do that, we still have to get streaming passes to see the others. So it's not really an option, but that's one way
It doesn't really change anything.
that you can be free. That's one way that you can be free, though.
I don't even know what being free is.
Being free means you get to make your own choices. You get to do what you want, which can be intimidating, I know. But it means that the only person saying no is yourself. It means that whatever you think about, you can actually do. And no one's gonna be there to make you feel bad about it or say you can't do it.
How is that different to how it currently is?
Because here, I'm not allowed to build in Farmers faction. I'm not allowed to build in Builders faction. Like, with all the amount of times I've spent in Farmers faction talking with Worm and just visiting them, there's some really nice places that I'd love to build a house, but I'm not allowed to because these borders exist.
You make some very good points, but
And you don't want to leave your friends.
yes, and some of the things you say don't make sense. A lot of them do, but
What doesn't make sense?
you're telling me what I want. You're telling me how I feel.
I'm
And it
not
makes
trying to tell you what you want. I'm just trying to tell you what I see.
Yeah, but you're wrong. Or you're not quite right, or something.
Okay, then tell me. I mean, I'm an intuitive person, but I can only intuit so much.
You're saying that I want to be free, which you're right, I do, but that the freedom I want isn't obtainable here is difficult when I don't even know what the freedom I want looks like. I don't know, just a lot of what you're saying, for the most part, I think you're right, but you're definitely wrong about some stuff.
Shae, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I belong here, if the borders are what they are. I honestly don't think that the borders keep us together. I don't. I never did. I don't think I will. But I want there to be peace too. And there is a war going on inside of me that wants us all to be together, but also wants to maintain peace. And right now, I don't think those two statements can coexist. I really don't. Because it looks like outside of these borders, when we're worried about protecting your friends, me protecting Worm, because I don't really know anyone else as close as you do. I want to protect Worm, and I guess everyone else. I want to protect them from knowing the horrors of what an unordered world would be. I want to keep everyone together. I want there to be peace. But I don't know if there is a world where we can have peace and be together with the borders the way they are. Because they're already leaving us behind, Shae. I heard rumors that Moon and Eve have like a secret hideaway together.
But there is peace right now.
Yes, there is peace, but is there unity? We're so busy trying to protect them and they're doing whatever the hell they want. They don't care about protecting themselves, but we do. We've been putting in the work. We built the system that can get people out in case of an emergency, right? We're stocking up the armory with provisions.
Yeah.
We're gonna eventually fill it with food, with blocks, with extra armor in case people need it, weapons in case they need it, tools. What are they doing? They're just having fun ignoring the problems. They're just pretending that life is perfect. But life isn't perfect, Shae. You know that, and I know that.
Yeah.
Life isn't perfect. We have watchtowers because we're trying to look out for threats, Shae. Alright? And that's fine, but who else has them? No one, because they don't think about these things.
You're right. They always do this, don't they?
They're just thinking about the perfect side of life. That life cannot be as perfect as it is right now. And you know what, Shae? Maybe they're right. Maybe they are. I'll give them that. But life doesn't stay perfect. You know that. I know that. Sunny should know that. Worm should know that. They came from the same world you did. They saw the same things you did.
Yeah. They should.
Peace doesn't hold forever. I told this to Worm. I'm telling you now, peace doesn't hold forever.
I know.
There can't be a world where we are all together and there is peace. Because right now, we have peace, but we're not all together. The farmers, the builders, they're together, sure. But we're not, because we're trying to protect them from the things that they clearly aren't worried about.
You're right. You're right.
So Shae, you tell me, do you seriously see a world where peace and unity can exist at the same time with the borders as they are right now? Because if you think there is, you know what? I'll shut up right now. I will stop. I will stop right now. I won't do anything. I will just continue my research on the ancients. I will talk with Moon and try and discover as much as I can about the ancients, and I will continue building this tunnel system and this emergency stash of ours. I will stop right now and only do those things. If you tell me that you think that peace and unity can exist at the same time with the borders. But if you don't think, if even a part of you thinks that that's not possible, then we need to start having a serious talk about what we can do about these borders.
This is the closest to peace and unity that I've ever known. That's the only answer I have. I don't know. I guess there is a part of me that agrees with you, that thinks that there has to be better than this. But I don't know if I actually believe that, because I've never had better than this.
Let me ask you a question. You're not gonna like it, but
okay.
I need to know. Are you afraid of what Sunny could do?
What?
Are you afraid of what Sunny could do or what Sunny could say if we start seriously talking about
No.
taking down these borders or changing them?
No. think so. Am I? I don't think so. No. I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Shae, outside the two of us, I'm going to be a nice person. I'm going to be pleasant, kind, friendly, caring.
Okay.
But between the two of us, you know what I'm like. You know where my head is at right now.
Yeah.
No one else will know where my head's at. No one else will know what I think about this borders, how much I'm fighting my own nature.
Okay.
I need you to know that this is a fight that I'm losing. I came into this world with little memory of who or what I was, and I didn't like the borders then. And now, I know more about myself than I did back then. This is probably the most I will ever know about myself. I don't know if I'll get the rest of my memories back or not. I don't know if the journal will reveal any more of its pages. What I do know is this, that there is a part of me that doesn't believe that unity and peace can exist at the same time. Because while we are here in our faction, preparing for a threat that may never come, and I acknowledge it, that this threat that we're preparing for might not exist, but a part of me believes that there is something coming that is going to be bigger than what you or I can handle, and we're going to need the help of everyone. But I don't think that we'll be ready for it the way we are now, with the others acting like nothing is wrong, like life is perfect, like life is just all about the sunrises and mucking around in mid and playing this prank war that I've started. I don't know if they believe that life is ever going to be more complicated than it is right now. Shae, Sunny and Worm, all the others, maybe not Worm, but the others, they've forgotten how hard life can be, Shae. We haven't. I want to protect their innocence. I want to protect innocence for as long as possible.
I think you're a little late for that.
Yeah, but they've got newfound innocence and ignorance here because nothing's gone wrong here.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, like, Moon knows better. Moon knows better. And I know Moon knows better. Moon is keeping things from us because they want to keep things private. And you know what? That's fine. I can respect that. I've got my own secrets. That doesn't stop me from wanting to know her secrets. Because I more or less have a personal stake in the ancients. We found the ruins here, and I don't know about you, but I haven't been the same since. Whatever the threat is, we are prepared for it, but the others aren't. We aren't unified. They're unified outside of our borders. They are unifying right now without us, but we have peace.
I need to think. I need time to process what you're saying.
Shae, are you scared of me?
No.
You once told me that you're afraid of who I could be if I got my memories, if I ever remembered who I was in my old world fully. Do you still think that's true?
Maybe. I don't know how I feel right now. Maybe once I've had some time, thought about this, maybe I will be. I don't know. I have no way of knowing that right now, because right now it's just burning.
Look, Shae, I know I said that I'd stick around for a while because of Worm, but there's somewhere I need to go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be away for a few days.
Okay.
Maybe even a week. I don't know, I'm not sure yet. I need to do some thinking, and I think the thinking I need to do can't be done here. So I'm gonna be going on a journey for a while, and I need to go by myself.
Okay. Be safe.
But if you stick around here, just don't tell the others what we've talked about, because they're not gonna take it lightly. And we might find out pretty quick how unified they've gotten without us.
Okay.
And also, if you see them, don't tell Worm that I broke our promise and that I left.
You're asking me to lie to Worm?
Shae, Worm's been through a lot.
Yes.
I just want to protect their innocence.
Sure.
Because...
And I want to do that too, and I will do that by, I won't tell Worm, but if Worm directly asks me where you are, I'm not going to lie to them.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
They trust me. I think they trust me. I can't betray that.
Worm does trust you, Shae. Believe that.
That's good.
Worm hasn't had anyone looking out for them properly for so long. I know that you looked out for them while you can, but I want to look out for them too.
Okay.
I want to protect their innocence for as long as possible. They've been through enough.
They
They've
really
suffered
have.
enough. So, I'm not asking you to lie, but I'm just asking you, buy me some time with Worm. I promise when I come back, I will tell Worm everything. I will tell Worm that I broke our promise and I left
Okay.
without telling them, and I will make it up to them. But for now, there's something I need to do, and I don't want Worm worrying about me.